So we want to look at the word philosophy, and the question for today is Earth, this realm, this physical realm that we find ourselves in, is this just a paradise which was infected by some virus, by some disease? Or is this physical realm the disease itself? Because, as I showed, it's more or less like a giant corpse mountain we are walking on. Literally a corpse mountain. So, is this the disease itself, or is the physical earth, this realm, just infected with some kind of parasite? And to answer this question, we will have a look at the word philosophy. What does philosophy mean and where does it come from? So philosophy, if you translate it, it means the love of wisdom. Literally, love of wisdom. And the word philosophy comes from philo, like love of, and Sophia. And then we can ask, what is Sophia? So Sophia is translated to wisdom, but Sophia comes from the Gnosis, so the Gnostics. There is some kind of Sophia. And who is Sophia in the Gnosis? And if you know something about Gnosis, then you should be familiar with Sophia. And Sophia was, let's read the summary. In the Gnostic Sophia myth is the story of the hubris and the fall. Okay, we have some kind of hubris going on and a fall of the sub-deity Sophia, a sub-deity Sophia from the higher divine order, which subsequently leads to the emergence of the material world. This is Earth. Everything is material. Everything is physical, and we can also look at the word physic. We have the PHI, which is this symbol, the PHI, and which comes from the torus field. And the PHI is also known as the number of life. So PHI is sick, life is sick. The physical PHI, sick, means PHI is sick, life is sick, because the physical life is a sickness. So now that we have the physical exposed as a sickness, we can say that Earth, even if there is a spirit beyond it or behind it, this physical manifestation, this material manifestation is sick. And what remains of Earth if we take away all the material? I don't know what remains. The spirit, maybe? But is the spirit this Earth? Is it equal to this Earth? No, of course not. So let's go on. So the Gnostic Sophia myth is the story of the hubris and fall of the sub-deity Sophia, and this is a female aspect of God. And we had this in another video because the female is the female, and phi is like ferrum, it's like heavy, dense. And also the word itself, material or matrix, or matter comes from the mother. It's directly translated to mother. So we have some female fuckery going on here. So let's go on. Content. The myth of Sophia is recounted in both the Gnostic text and that of the origin of the world, both of which are part of the... Okay, Sophia, like God, attempted out of herself to create a work that would be equal to the first existing light. So Sophia tried to be like God and tried to make a world out of herself, just like God. This, however, was the misguided and impossible attempt of the sub-deity Sophia to become godlike and creative through her own power. Her work came to fruition as a celestial image that formed a curtain between the upper realms of light and the later lower eons. Okay, so we have something going on like a curtain between the upper realms of light, behind the prison, and this would be some kind of the curtain, and the lower realms of light. So this projection is what Sophia's experiment resulted in. And let's go on. A shadow extended beneath the curtain, namely on its outer side, facing away from the light. Oha. Now, where is the shadow depicted in this picture? It's on the outside. It's beneath the curtain. It's on the outer side, facing away from the light. There is the shadow. Let's go on reading. This shadow was called darkness. The shadow became matter, in which Sophia then continued her work. And the demiurge came from this. But okay, let's go on reading. From this matter, like a miscarriage, the lion-shaped male, female Yalda both emerged, and this is known as the demiurge. And this will get clear if we go on reading. So there is the upper realms of the light, then we have the prism with the false god of this realm who projects this thing. We are in this material realm, and there we have the shadow and the light. So we have a duality going on, the demiurge and the light. So let's go on reading. This is from the English Wikipedia page, and there we have some more details. Okay, let's go on, and I will read, and when I have something to say, I will say it. Many Gnostic systems, particularly those of the Syrian or Egyptian, teach that the universe began with an original, unknowable God referred to as parent, Pythos, or the monad. From this primordial source, a series of emanations or eons emerged. These eons, which often appear in male-female pairs called syzygies, collectively from the pleroma or fullness of the divine. This concept emphasizes that the eons are not separate from the divine but are symbolic representations of its attributes, like aspects from the divine attributes. The transition from the immaterial to the material, from the nominal to the sensible, is brought about by a flaw or a passion or a sin in one of the eons. In most versions of the Gnostic mythos, it is Sophia who brings about this instability in the pleroma. In turn, bringing about the creation of materiality. So once again, we have the creation of materiality, of the physical world, which is caused by a sin, by a flaw, or like it's called also a instability. According to some Gnostic texts, the crisis, once again, occurs as a result of Sophia trying to emanate without her SIC, or another tradition, because she's trying to breach the barrier between herself and the unknowable Bythos. So this world was created like out of a hubris. Oh, I can do this on my own. So this world, this earth, was created, but without the involvement of the Bythos, or without the unknowable God. After cataclysmically falling from the pleroma, there is the fall. After cataclysmically falling from the pleroma, Sophia's fear and anguish of losing her life, just as she lost the light of the One, causes confusion and longing to return to it. Because of these longing, because of the fear and confusion and so on, matter and soul accidentally come into existence. The creation of the demiurge, also known as Yaldabaoth, is also a mistake made during this exile. So it is clear, not only to the Gnostic story, but the Gnostic story once again confirms this, that this world, this earth, is a miscarriage. It's an accident. It's not the original world. The material world, this earth, is caused by some kind of hubris from one of God's aspects, which is called Sophia. So, who's the demiurge? The demiurge proceeds to create the physical world in which we live, ignorant of Sophia, who nevertheless manages to infuse some spiritual spark or pneuma into this or his creation. So Sophia was overpowered by the demiurge, who is the shadow, or who is this thing. He makes up the prison, and it's also shown here, the shadow projection. The demiurge overpowered Sophia, who tried to manage to bring some light into, or some spiritual spark into her creation, or his creation now. So, in Epistis Sophia, Christ is sent to bring Sophia back into the pleroma, to bring her back into the light, into the original creation. Christ enables her to again see the light, bringing her knowledge of the Spirit, which is non-physical. Christ is then sent to earth in the form of the man Jesus to give man the gnosis needed to rescue themselves from the physical world, from the sick world, from the PHY sick, because life is sick in the physical world, and he gives the knowledge of the Spirit, so that we can return to the spiritual world where we originally belong to. For the Gnostics, the drama of the redemption of the Sophia through Christ, or the Logos, is the central drama. There we have the trauma and the drama of the universe. The Sophia resides in all humans as the divine spark. But we have to accept the knowledge of the Spirit, which Christ is here to bring, or there are pendants to Christ. So are we inside of a paradise which was infected with some kind of parasite, or is this the fallen world? Is Earth the fallen world itself? Is it the disease itself? And I say, yeah, we are, according to Gnosticism, Earth is a trauma or a trauma projection, an accident or a mistake, maintained through fear, ignorance of the spirit, blindness, and denial of wisdom, and the knowledge of the spirit. So everyone wants to be trapped and be kept in this physical world, in this physical body. The projection itself is hell, a giant pile of corpses. The physical world, Earth. So, and what is the manifestation of this physical world? It's money. Of course, it's the money of the demiurge, because everything in this world is transactional. You have to buy material goods in order to survive. You need shelter, you need food, you need clothing, and you name it. So we are inside this zombie land projection, which is Earth, which is this physical realm, which is a mistake, which is it's a projection from the higher realms, and we are inside this prison with the demiurge who took this thing over, because it's the shadow. Because of the fall, there was a shadow which was created, and now we see the demiurge is like an artificial intelligence, and that's because we have this AI. It's an A and an I on top as the prism projection lens. So we are in zombie land. Earth itself is the disease, in my opinion, and it's not what I like to see, it's what the evidence is showing. So why all of this? So after all, we are all in this together, so to get her. And what is meant by her? Yeah, for one, it's like free her. The female aspect has to be freed from the material prison. And how do we do this? It's with the wisdom of Christ. It's the wisdom of the Spirit. And it's the clear message: we are trapped in this material world. We even had Madonna with the song, I'm a material girl in a material world, and so on. And Madonna is literally, it's a shortened, it's another term for Mary, the mother of Jesus, and the mother of Jesus is also known as the bride of Christ. So we have to free Madonna or Mary or Sophia with the wisdom of Christ. So the female aspect who is trapped in matter. And then we can go back into the spiritual world, and that's the whole meaning of the bride of Christ, of Mary. Also in Truman, the boat with, he travels away with the boat. So the boat from the Truman Show is called Santa Maria, so that's a clear reference. So this is the sick Sophia, the physical Sophia, and then he heals Sophia, and that's why he's leaving the Truman Show with the boat called Santa Maria, to find his love outside of the Truman Show. And that's exactly what I've showed you now in this picture. So we have to heal Sophia with the wisdom of Christ and the wisdom of the Spirit. And once again, the word matter has its roots in the Latin words mater, which means mother, materia, meaning physical substance or matter, evolved from mater and eventually became matter. So that's nothing I like to see. That's the evidence we have. And that's also why we are all want to be free of the matrix. And matrix means womb, and matrix comes from also from mother. So we have the first AI robot, which was, I think, became citizenship of Saudi Arabia, yes. And that's Sophia. And that's no coincidence that she was called Sophia. And it's like a kind of joke, or like kind of a little in the big example. Because Sophia is the first AI who materializes in the physical world. Yeah. So philosophy is the love of wisdom. So Sophia needs to be healed with wisdom of the spirit. And philosophy means literally love of wisdom. So that's all I can say today. It's all shown in this thing, ironically, because it's on the $1 bill, and the $1 bill is a manifestation of this hell projection that so-called Sophia kicked off. And in other religions or in other stories, it's like Eve, or it's like Alice in Wonderland, or it's like in The Wizard of Oz, it's like Dorothea, or I think she's called Dorothea. It's always a female aspect who, out of hubris, or out of, I don't know, mostly hubris or temptation, kicked off the material world, which is this material earth, which is a giant pile of corpses. It's disgusting, to be honest. So to return to the spiritual world, the wisdom of the spirit has to be shown and has to be acknowledged. Yeah. So that's it for today. I hope this makes sense to you. And yeah, the Truman Show shows it once again. And also the phi from the torus field, the phi, the universal number of life, is sick, because the physical life is a sickness.